Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania Summer Solstice reading for 2026. I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, so that's why it's summer, but this applies also to the Southern Hemisphere. Wherever you are on this planet, I hope you're well. Let's get into this reading, shall we? For the next 3 months, I invite you to close your eyes and join me in taking 3 nice deep breaths so that we pull our energy into sync across time and space, because even though you're watching this in the future, our higher selves know no time, and your energy is becoming aligned with mine so that we pull through what we need for this reading of the solstice. Here we go. 3 nice deep breaths. Ideally with your feet flat on the floor. And I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going deep down into Mother Earth, like the trees that might be surrounding you, anchoring you and grounding you, and allowing you to be fully present here and now. Knowing that this true root is providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass from your field down into Mother Earth. Knowing that she will use this energy as compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children as we co-create this reading of the solstice, the summer solstice 2026 in the Northern Hemisphere, in service to our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and the best way possible, in service to our highest and greatest good, as individuals and as a human family. I'd also like to acknowledge the overlighting devas of each of the environments in which we find ourselves, whether it's at home, at work, out in the world. I'd like to acknowledge the deva who is holding the space where you find yourself, and thank them for providing you with a safe and grounded container into which this reading can manifest, and you can be part of it. And I ask for the help of all of those organizing intelligences to add their energy to ours in service of this beautiful reading for our good. I'd also like to acknowledge our beautiful Mother Earth, our home, this incredible, incredible place that we live in, that we live among, that we are immersed in as we wear these human bodies and have this incredibly rich human experience. Thank you to Gaia. Thank you, Mother, for holding us as we do this work, as we do this life, as we have these experiences, as we rise in consciousness and ability and wisdom and integrity. Thank you for holding us today and every day. We set the tone with ease, clarity, upliftment, enjoyment, pleasure, satisfaction, joy, healing, transformation, peace. Whatever is uppermost in our hearts at this time may be held and grounded here. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating this sacred container across time and space. Wherever you are part of this embrace of light. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. As always, anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get started, shall we? So I went out and I collected a bloom from each of the roses that are blooming in my garden at this time. Felt important to have the energy of rose here with us for this July Solstice 2026. I shouldn't call it the summer solstice, I'll call it the July Solstice. It's a magnificent time of year. And the rose, of course, symbolizes love. It symbolizes desire. It symbolizes that high frequency that is source energy. It symbolizes that beautiful energy of the mother, of the earth herself. So it seems fitting to be graced with this symbolism on our altar for this reading today. And so, Creator, what is it that we need to know for the next 3 months? For this energy of this July Solstice 2026 and the time beyond it, that we may leverage this information and set good intentions in service to our personal highest and greatest good, in service to our service, bringing forth that which we are here to contribute in meaningful and beautiful and harmonious ways, and in service to the love and light growing on this planet at this time. All of our good, please. Thank you. Okay. And we're drawing it for body, mind, heart, and spirit, which always feels appropriate for these quarter readings. Body, mind, heart, spirit, and foundation. Okay. Lots of pebbles. Starting with body, and we have one of our favorite cards that shows up quite frequently in our readings, and this is the Fool. To boldly go where we've never gone before, to be fearless and enthusiastic and full of wonder and delight. So on the level of the body, coming home to ourselves and letting ourselves be like little children, as though we're discovering life again for the first time, being in our bodies, allowing ourselves to be really here, really taking in the world, pulling our energy into our bodies with the breath, pulling the mind in behind the eyes, back into this beautiful body, and feeling our way forward with enthusiasm and delight. Because there is so much to be enthusiastic and delighted by in the world. And if you're not feeling that these days, please get yourself outside. Get out into nature. If you can take your shoes and socks off and ground on the earth or in a body of water, better and better. And just be in nature as often as possible. Look up to the sky, to the patterns the clouds are making. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Feel the wind on your cheek. Feel the change of the season wherever you might be, and celebrate it. Let yourself be deeply present to the natural world around you, because there are messages here for us. There are adventures to be had. There is delight to be experienced. And when we're deeply in our body, that's when we can have those experiences. If we're not in our bodies, we're running around in our minds, detached from our bodies, or with only a small percentage of our attention in our bodies, we're not having the rich, deep experience that we came to have as embodied humans at this time. These bodies, as I've said before, are not an afterthought. They are an essential part of this ascension process humanity finds itself in. This is not about detaching from the body and leaving the body. This is about being deeply present in the body, having our energy, our attention, our focus right here, right now. All of it, all together, body, mind, heart, and spirit, because that's where the delight happens. That's where the adventure comes from. That's when we will experience things in a completely different way. We have a very mental culture. Many people are running around detached from their bodies, and our technology doesn't help that. Being around high electromagnetic devices fills our field with positive ions, and it's harder to ground into the body. That's why grounding, collecting negative ions, is so important. And negative ions are amazingly present in forests, in nature, around bodies of water. So it's really healthy to detach from those electronic devices, those external, those outside-in devices. Just put them down, put them on airplane mode, get them off your person, take a break from them, get into your body with the breath. Get outside, get into nature, go sniff some roses, go enjoy life for real, right here, right now. That's the message here. The 0 card key 0, the first card of the major arcana. So this is important. It's a pay attention card. And understanding that it's not a line, it's a spiral. We're always going up the spiral. And so this is a new beginning on the level of the body, this energy of a new cycle coming through our bodies. So how are we marking this new cycle? We have a very significant celebration on the earth plane, the summer solstice or the July solstice. This is a marking of the changing of the seasons. It's an excellent time to have a fresh new start that is full of enthusiasm and delight, deeply present in these gorgeous human bodies and having the experiences that we need to have right here, right now. Body, mind. We have a very mind card. The King of Swords. So, swords, the suit of air. Air is the mind. It's ideas, it's action. When we have new ideas, we take new action. And the king is the masculine aspect of this. This isn't the feminine card. We would have the queen. It's the more the yang energy of the air element. The king has a plan. He's working his plan. He has his lists. He's very rational. He's very practical. He's getting stuff done. So on the level of the mind, and this is the realm of the mind anyway, it serves us to be practical, to be a little bit emotionally detached, to be the observer, the witness, watching the world, not engaged with it, not hooked in. We'll see what the heart says, but this is really important about not being hooked, about being a witness, about creating a detached layer or a spaciousness, the eagle's perch as it was, to get into that loftier perspective so that we're seeing clearly, because the king sees clearly. He looks out into his domain, not unlike the emperor. Those two cards are very close. And the King of Swords, he sees clearly, and as a result, he's able to make these brilliant plans. He's able to be rational and logical and practical and get stuff done, checking those boxes, moving life forward. This is on the level of the mind. So for the next 3 months, it will serve us very well to be observant, to be a witness, and critical or thoughtful or objective, detached, able to look at the events of the world from a curious and analytical perspective rather than an emotionally charged one. Not letting our mind be diluted by the emotionally charged messages that are being continually thrown at us and thrown in our field. You should be upset about this. You should be upset about that. This terrible thing is going on over here. This terrible thing is going on over there. You really should be upset. Noticing that. Noticing those messages as they come along and saying, really? Really? Is it true that it will serve anyone if I am emotionally upset about this? Or will it serve me to be clean and clear, somewhat detached, not abandoning our humanness, but creating some spaciousness with the breath so that as the witness, as the observer, as the one on the eagle's perch, we have a clearer view of what's actually going on so that we can respond rather than react. This emotionally charged messaging that we're in the middle of is designed to keep us in reaction, not responsiveness. So this is very important for this next 3 months. Just take a breath before you respond to anything, before you find yourself reacting to anything. And if you notice you're lit up, get curious about it. Pull in this wondering, curious energy and going, what am I triggered by? What is this information evoking in me? Why am I responding like this? Creating room. Because if it's all a simulation, and some people believe it is, then we get to choose how we're responding. And that's what the King of Swords allows us to do, to create some detachment, some perspective, a reframe, to stay in a resilient, optimistic, lofty perspective, to be kind, to be responsive and not reactive. So that's part of our work. at least on the level of the mind for the next little while, the next 3 months. Heart. The Queen of Pentacles. I love this. So, whereas we have this masculine energy on the level of our mind, on the level of the heart, we have this beautiful yin feminine energy. And it's Pentacles, which is the earth element. And this is everything that has anything to do with being in these human bodies and enjoying this experience deeply. So on the level of the heart, it's like settling into our bodies, being in these beautiful bodies and savoring it all, letting ourselves just flow with what's happening, what's coming towards us, enjoying the moment, finding ourselves in nature, out and about, sampling things, smelling roses, sampling eating good food, being with good friends and family, spending time in beauty, and giving ourselves that gift, because beauty opens the heart and we want to be in our hearts these days. Our beautiful minds are going to create this clean and clear objective witness container, and we'll be able to be fully in our bodies, in our hearts, present, responsive, curious, ready to be delighted and surprised by life because we're in our bodies. We're here, all of us. So I think we're going to have more experiences of being fully embodied and fully here now. And our beautiful minds, yes, that detachment, but it doesn't mean you leave the body. It simply means creating a mental space. Again, using that analytical, rational, critical thought processes to go, is that true? How do I know it's true? Who wants me upset? How does it serve anyone for me to be upset? How does it serve me to be upset? It doesn't really serve me to be upset. Okay, I'm going to take another deep breath. I don't know what to do about this right now, but I'm going to trust that some part of me is working on it and is going to figure it out. And when it's time, or if it's time for me to take action, I will know. And then you can let it go and come back to this now moment with the breath, coming back into this beautiful body, back into this present experience, and go, yeah, okay, redirect attention. Be the lofty one. Be the master of your perspective. This is the king here. This isn't somebody who's at the effect of. This is mastery. This is about the redirect. Yep, that may be happening. That's what people are telling me. Yep, that's coming into my field, and it's designed to make me feel uncomfortable and reactive. But I choose what I'm responding to. And I'm choosing not to respond to this right now. And I think it's important that we understand that when we choose to be that way, that we choose that loftier perspective or that more intentional way of being, that masterful state, we're actually diffusing all those emotional bombs that are out there. Because if we don't engage with them, if we don't react to them, we're not adding our energy to the explosion. Does that make sense? We are not amplifying that message. We are not creating more ripples along that effect. We are deliberately reining that energy in and redirecting our focus. We're not feeding it with our attention. And that's very, very, very important. Now, please don't misunderstand me. If you're here and you're called to be in service in a particular way, and that might be as a reporter, reporting on things, that might be as somebody who's doing research and bringing information to the world, and the research might be distressing, but if you stay in this clean and clear and lofty space, it's like facts, just the facts. What are the facts? With that information, we can make better decisions. We can make clearer choices. We need people to gather that information for us so that we as humanity can make better choices. It's very interesting because it's also most, this whole energy of AI. And I know some people are very triggered by it and other people are super excited by it. But it's this kind of quality of clean and clear, detached, present, aware, masterful, non-reactive, responsive. When we have the information that we need, we can come to a higher level. And I'm not talking about becoming one with technology. No, I don't believe in that. I think we're here in human bodies to be in human bodies, not to become machines. That's my perspective. But this is very important at this time. Our access to these tools is in our service at this time as humanity makes this transition. And humanity hasn't even begun to understand its potential, what the potential is. We've had a very kind of dumbed down perspective and experience so far. And we're about to expand. We're going to have more experiences of telepathy, of connection, of intuition, of ability to understand things just by feeling into the frequency and the energy of a field, because we're so much more than these human forms. So being in our bodies with our hearts, really allowing ourselves to be deeply rooted in this present time, the mind part of it, helping us to stay lofty, to be the witness, to stay curious, because when we're curious, we're not reactive. We're wondering. We have an open mind. That's truly the work of a scientist. That's truly the work of anyone who's here experiencing Earth, is to stay open and curious and wondering. And that state of inquiry is a completely different way of reacting or engaging with life rather than reacting. Spirit. New beginnings, the Princess of Pentacles on the level of the earth element. So, this is true. Spirits in human form. It's going to be a new experience as we become more present, more aware, more conscious, as we have more of our spiritual self in our human form, which is what we're in the process of doing here. We will have a completely new experience as individuals and as humanity. There's just no other way. It's just how it's going to go. And this body energy, this taking care of ourselves on the level of the body, we can deliberately cultivate a different state in our bodies through the foods that we eat, by getting enough sleep, by getting enough movement and appropriate movement, by taking good care of ourselves, drinking enough water, meditating, getting into nature. We are nature. We have this idea as humans that we're separate from nature because we've conquered it. That whole kind of colonial idea of domination over and control of, and then separation from, especially in our urban environments. There's this feeling of detachment from the natural world, but we are nature. We might become a bit of an abomination of nature because we're no longer connected and we've lost our felt sense of the natural world, our ability to determine what the weather's going to do, our ability to relate to the life around us. But that's there. It is part of our DNA. It's part of our framework. These human forms are made of the stuff of this planet. And when we come home to the energy of these human forms, we relate to life in a different way. We get out of our heads and into our bodies, which is where we need to be right now. We don't abandon the mind, but we use the mind in a different way. We interact with the world in a different way. We come from the inside out, from the heart outwards, and we use our mind as a tool to distinguish and interact and discern ourselves and the world around us. But most of our energy needs to be in these human bodies. In that breath, all those beautiful practices that bring us home to our beautiful bodies. Some of the main ones, traditional ones that you might be familiar with: Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, these energetic practices and breath practices that have been around for millennia. There's a reason why. They bring us home to ourselves. They bring us home to our beautiful bodies. They help us to circulate the energy, to stretch these bodies and get the energy moving. When the energy moves through the meridians of the body, healing happens. And we become one with our form, our human form. And when we're blissed out in our human form, boy, we're grounding that energy of the universe, of nature in our field. That incredible state of Shavasana at the end of a yoga practice. And I am not a yogi. I might say things that sound like I am, but I've known from my own direct experience that this is where it takes us, that blissed out place. And now that blissed out state, we can achieve it in many, many, many different ways. But these traditions exist because individuals chose to deliberately cultivate these states. And what happens as we deliberately cultivate these states, we're creating a pattern in the human form, the human field. It becomes familiar. the more we spend time in that, the more it becomes something that we can cultivate and call up at will. It becomes part of our mastery. That's why they're called practices. And that's why they're so important. And that's why they've endured as they have, because they are so powerful and grounding and helpful. So what we're seeing here is this energy of being in the body, of having all of us right here, right now, in this present moment, and deliberately and masterfully cultivating this through our choices, through our awarenesses, through our mind practices, and choosing to breathe back into our human form, especially if something lights us up. That's going to be a big part of the next 3 months. It's like, okay, this distressing thing is coming across my field. Am I going to just go into despair and upset and worry? Or am I going to just breathe? Coming home to myself, noticing what's happening in my body, loving myself anyway, forgiving myself for having the reactions that I'm having, and getting into that curious and resilient place. And then sending love. And when we send love from our embodied state, it's beautiful and it's powerful. And it elevates the human family. And that's also part of what we get to do here in our very comfortable lives in corners of the globe where there is no strife. It's so strange how our media is trying to keep us in a state of upset and strife and discomfort and feeling discombobulated. So we're not settled, we're not peaceful, we're not grounded, we're not adding unto the human field in the best way possible. So practice this discernment as you move through life. Notice, where are the prickly bits? And can you breathe some harmony and peace into those prickly bits? Can you come back to your heart? Can you come back to this now moment? Can you come back to the love, to the presence? Can you cultivate more of that in your field by taking really good care of yourself? I've talked about meds before: meditation, hydration, exercise, diet, and sleep. These are within our grasp to change and to use as supportive tools for our well-being on this planet so we can be in our masterful state more often. If we're eating junk food, if we're not getting enough sleep, if we're drinking too much alcohol, smoking too many cigarettes, doing whatever drugs, all of those things, not exercising, not getting outside, spending too much time on a screen, we are not optimizing our physiological state to hold more of our spiritual self here now. That's what it comes down to. And we have that within our grasp. We can make that decision to change things, to change how we're doing things, to be here now and to nourish ourselves and care for ourselves and hold ourselves in a different way. So we have this fresh new beginning on the level of spirit. Because that's why we are here in these human forms at this time on this planet, as it's doing what it's doing, going through this particular part of the galaxy, as we have these solar flares, as we have these incredible comets moving through our field, bringing new information from the far corners of the galaxy into our particular space-time, and the discombobulations, the pebbles that drop ripples into our field as a result of it. It's all relevant and important, and it's all happening right now. But we get to do our part. That's what mastery is all about. Okay. Our foundation card. Why we are having this reading. So perfect. The Justice card, key 11. This card is right smack in the middle of the major arcana. It is all about right balance. Another name for it could be the Karma card. This is the energy of what we're creating as we move through life and the justice of that. If we are feeding our bodies with junk food, our bodies are not going to be strong and healthy. There's that karmic thing. Our actions, our choices, our decisions, our ways of being come back to us. Are we building our energy, or are we diminishing it through our choices? And this card is why we're having the reading for this next 3 months. What are we building? How are we building it? And it starts with us as individuals. We might want to skip to the chase and fix all of humanity, but we can't fix humanity until we as individuals are fixed. It starts within us. We've heard that before. we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. These words from everywhere, all the traditions, all the sacred texts have them sprinkled abundantly through. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have done unto you, starts from within us. When we can hold these beautiful, lofty energies, that's when we change the world, because we change. When we change, everything around us changes. We resonate differently, and everyone who comes into contact with our field responds to that resonance. So if we have a high resonance and we're loving ourselves and we're loving life and we're in gratitude and appreciation, life sends us more to be grateful for, and people pick up on it. And they too switch into that happier, loftier state. If we're going around with a kick me attitude, I'm not good enough, life sucks, bad things happen to us. Weird things happen to us. More shows up to prove that we're not worthy. We are the ones creating that. And it's so important for us to understand that nobody is doing anything to us on the outside. We're creating it through our state. And this is why these practices are so powerful for creating a different internal state, a different frequency, set point that we then can move through life with and do things differently and have different relationships with others. From the inside out, from the heart outwards. We've all been conditioned to live in the world and take in what's coming in from the outside, looking for that external validation, looking for that acknowledgement, looking for something from the outside rather than coming from the inside out. And knowing that everything around us, the experiences that we're having, the things that are in our field, we've put them there. And they're teaching us something. It's an opportunity for us. If we don't like what's in our field, we need to get curious about why it's there. And breathe. And become the witness and the observer and detach. And from that clean and clear and neutral space that we're generating, creating spaciousness, reevaluating and deciding if we want it to be different. And if we do, what does that look like? What does that possibility space feel like? Because the universe is always responding to our frequency, our energetic set point, not our words. The words are affiliated and associated with energy, but it's our state that's where we're attracting from. So that, more than anything, is the most important thing we can be doing. How are we cultivating harmonious, peaceful, balanced integrity within? Because we will manifest that in the external world as we land in that in our field. So a very, very clear and powerful reading. This next 3-month period, be willing to be surprised and delighted. That's first. Get into those beautiful bodies and enjoy them. Enjoy the life that is around you. Let's all get into taking better care of ourselves, nourishing ourselves better, drinking enough clean water, breathing enough clean air, meditating more regularly, moving in whatever way you feel called to, stretching those beautiful bodies and making them long and lean and resilient and happy. And when we do all these good things for ourselves, we change. Our frequency changes. We have control over that. Very important. And as a result of that, our whole experience changes. Our way of relating to others changes. Our way of relating to life changes. It is so incredibly important. I can't stress it enough. But this is what this reading is about for the next 3 months. I hope that was helpful. I can't remember. Do we do a card to grow on or not? Let's just see. Do we need one? I'm getting that. It's pretty clear. This is the information we need right now. We won't dilute it or distract from it by pulling any more cards. Let's practice this as well as we can within our own fields. And let's be observers. Let's notice the differences. Let's notice the changes. Where our attention goes, energy flows. We are nourishing something with our attention when we focus there. So remember, be discerning about where you're putting that focus and attention. And savor this beautiful time of year. Wherever you are on this gorgeous planet, there is beauty to be had, to be savored, to open your heart so you can be more present and a clearer channel for love and light on this planet, as we all are here to be. And as you already are, you just get to turn the dial up more. That's the beautiful thing. You're not starting, no one who's listening here is starting from zero. We've all been on this journey for a long time. We've all done a lot of work. We all know a lot of this stuff already. This is just a reminder at this time. This is what we need to be paying attention to in service so that we can add our energy to the general outflow that's happening at this time. We can harness the energy in the field in service to more love and light so we can get on board and surf a little bit further together. As individuals, each of us doing our own thing, we're supporting the whole as we do it. So I hope this reading has been supportive and helpful for you, for everyone. There's so much. We have so much power. And when we realize that, and when we leverage that power and that discernment and these incredible ways of looking at life, we can effect profound transformation from the inside out. And from that cleaner, clearer space within ourselves, as we move through life, we're giving everyone around us permission to do the same thing. And that will change humanity faster than anything. So thank you for being you. Thank you for joining me and adding your energy to mine as we co-created this reading for this beautiful July solstice. I'm so grateful you are here. I'm grateful you're on this planet doing your good work and making your beautiful contribution. I can't wait to see where we go. Stay surprised and delighted by life. Look for all the evidence that it's all going the right way, because it is. Much love and light, my friends. And I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.